Back at it once again. It's your man, Boss Gang VIP with the weekly Money Watch. Last week was absolutely amazing. We were able to make lots and lots of money. If you were involved in the market last week, you understood that we were able to make a new all-time high. The market does like to go up over time. So just know that when you're making your long-term investment decisions. We had big moves in stocks like AMD and PayPal, and I definitely want to get into those things. But before I do, I know why you're here. Make sure to like and subscribe to the video so you can go ahead and get these updates as soon as they're available. I'm going to be going through quite a bit today, so I hope you got some time. Take out your pens and your pads. The stock market tells you, I'm sure no one has ever broken it down for you before. And one of the ways I'm going to do that is by using PayPal and the bullish movement that we had this week as a prime example. If you don't know, PayPal was one of the leading stocks in the S&P this week, and it was my number one play of 2024. I actually put it on my watch list last week, so if you didn't get a chance to check it out, make sure to go check out the watch list from last week. I was also able to present some of my personal trade ideas that will hopefully help people make thousands of percent, hopefully about 4,000 to 5,000% on the trade. And these are trades that I gave out to members of my private Discord. So that's pretty good. But let's get into it. As we know, not to be too complicated, we had an all-time high in the S&P this week. Things are definitely bullish, and I expect things to continue. If you go back and check out the other videos, I gave a price target on SPX from between 5,000 to 5,200, and I have no reason to believe anything will change at this point. I do want to go ahead and give an update on the Robinhood portfolio, just to show how we're kind of doing to this point. So if you haven't checked out the videos about building a Roth or building a stock portfolio, you might want to check those out. We're starting with $100. I will be updating those and actually adding to the account. So if there's somebody new who, maybe they're just getting into it and they want to know the right way to do it, I am going to show them the right way to build a stock portfolio. So just want to give a quick update before we get into this week in the market. The other thing, economic events. Let's get into it. Monday, January 22nd, we have U.S. leading economic indicators. No event scheduled on Tuesday, which is great. No news is great news. S&P Flash U.S. services. Thursday, we got quite a bit of events. Initial jobless claims is going to be a big one, January 26th. We got core PCE index, PCE year over year, among some other things. One of the big events in the market was the PayPal event, and I'm going to break this down to give a little insight into the market. I know a lot of people were talking about how there was some downgrades in PayPal in Mizuno this week, and a lot of times people can be affected by the news that they hear. But one of the good things about being an investor is we're not going to pay attention to what people are saying. We're going to pay attention to what people are doing. And I'm going to go ahead and play this clip from CNBC where PayPal CEO Alex Chris says, "We will shock the world." One of the things I want to get into before I get into that, I want to go to PayPal's website. And the reason is because I want to put dates and time to these things. So January 16, 2024, excuse me. Excuse me. Let me get a drink of water real quick. All right, I think I'm better. January 16, 2024 is from a newsroom on PayPal's website. They says tune into an exclusive preview of the newest innovations from PayPal and Venmo. PayPal's first look keynote premieres on January 25th, 2024. The reason I'm showing you this and with the dates is I actually put out my watch list before this information came out, right? So did I know about any of this information? Absolutely not. But I put myself in a position to be able to take advantage of this. How is that possible? I am going to get into that and you are going to learn. Keep track of these dates: January 16th, 2024, January 25th, 2024. Keep note of the dates that I actually put the PayPal on the stock list. Let's get into this. PayPal CEO says we will shock the world. And the date on this one, Wednesday, January 17th, 11:10 a.m. Eastern time. Let's get into it. So I'm new to this YouTube thing. I'm not really a YouTuber. I just made a YouTube to help people out. So I don't know how the copyright thing works or any of that crap, right? I just want to help people out. So I don't know if I got to say this, but for educational purposes only or whatever. But let's get into the video.
Joining me now in his first interview since stepping into the role as the president and CEO of PayPal is Alex Chriss. It's nice to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Good to be here.
It's good to have you. The analysts don't seem to love the stock right now. It's just the last couple of weeks. I'm taking a look at A to Z downgrade. Oppenheimer, PayPal, or persistent profitability pressure has them downgrading it. Morgan Stanley, slower than expected progress on strategic imperatives. BTIG, too much uncertainty, puts us on the sidelines. I mention those because I'm curious to get your response. So what do you say to these analysts to get them to change their mind, or how do you?
Well, look, we're an important company. We've got a quarter of the world's e-commerce running through PayPal. So that's why there hasn't been a lot to celebrate over the last few years. I think
Just wanted to stop this quickly. So one of the things that Mizuno used as a reason for the downgrade was competition. And PayPal CEO just said they have a quarter of the global e-commerce. Let's keep.
innovation's been slow. The company's been growing, but hasn't been putting out real customer-backed innovation. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm so excited about it going forward. So look, I love being an underdog. I will take all of that feedback and we'll shock the world.
Yeah, you think you're going to shock the world. How are you going to do that?
We've got an innovation day coming out on the 25th, where from the first week that I got there, this was not about trying to figure out what to go do. It is very clear what we need to do. 24 will be a transition year for us, but it'll be all about execution, and it starts with innovation. So on the 25th, we're going to come out. We have very clear customer-backed innovation that we will be rolling out for consumers, for our merchants, for Venmo, and I think it'll be a good start to this year.
Anything you can tell us at this point? Obviously, I don't want you to ruin the rollout, so to speak, but when you say you sort of have a very clear idea of what you have to do, and then you say innovation, any specifics you can provide?
Well, look, PayPal hasn't delivered the value proposition to its consumers or its merchants over the last few years that I think we're capable of. We have more data. We see exactly what people are purchasing around the world. So we need to make a better value proposition for consumers, put more money in their pockets. For our merchants, we have the ability to leverage AI to deliver an incredible improvement in their conversion rates. And then we have to let our small businesses and our consumers connect, leveraging AI-driven personalization.
And you believe that?
So I'm going to go ahead and stop the clip right there. If you guys want to check that out, absolutely go to CNBC and check that out. Some of the things he talked about were data. As we know in society today, data is the new gold. Some of the big things that are going to be taking over, of course, is AI, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence allows companies to gain some leverage. The highest cost for any business outside of research and development is paying the actual employees themselves. So, of course, a lot of people are scared that AI is going to take a bunch of jobs, and it absolutely is. But that's okay, though, because we need innovation to grow over time. People will adjust, right? So some of the jobs that may have been necessary in the past are not necessarily going to be necessary in the future, right? So it's just the way things go. People will adapt. I don't want people to look at things in a bad way. Just figure out for you and your family going forward the things that you need to do to adjust to the AI. And then in the meantime, we're going to try to take advantage of some of these opportunities that present themselves. Want to get into something else crazy with PayPal. And if you don't know, PayPal has a stablecoin, and PayPal's stablecoin is backed by the US dollar, right? So it is pegged 1-to-1. So let me give you a little read. This article is from The Block. So theblock.co, if you guys want to go ahead and check them out. PayPal stablecoin market cap grows 70% over the last month to $290 million. This article was January 12th, 2024, 11:23 a.m. Eastern. I want you guys to start to put together some of these times and dates. Quick take. The PYUSD, that is the PayPal USD stablecoin market capitalization, has crossed 290 million. The stablecoin recorded a 70% increase in market cap over the last month. PayPal introduced PYUSD in August 2023, partnering with Paxos. If you're familiar with crypto, you may be familiar with Paxos. Definitely not going to get into too much of that. PayPal stablecoin, which launched in August through a partnership with custodian firm Paxos, has shown substantial growth in market capitalization that's now exceeding $200 million. I'm not going to get into this. The point is that I'm going to show you that PayPal's reach is growing, and the reach is all over the place, more than people might actually realize that it is. Now, and as an investor, one of the things we do is we make speculations, right? So in this event, I want to be able to figure out some of the things that may be possible in the future, right? And this is the exciting part about investing that people don't teach you. What people don't teach you is how to be creative, right? When we're children, we have a natural creativity. As people get older, we're told what's right and what's wrong, and then we get ourselves trapped inside the boxes. So what I'm going to do is use my imagination and have some fun. The CEO says he's going to shock the world. What does that mean? He says he's going to create something that's great for consumers as well as businesses. I think that's something that everybody can get behind. What can some of those things be? I expect to hear the term AI used quite a bit. And, those are the things that happen typically during earnings season. We saw how AI gave, crazy run-ups to a bunch of stocks. Anytime anybody mentions CEO, I think there's data on this that said, however many times you mention AI, that's how much your stock went up or something. It was pretty crazy data out there. So how are they going to leverage this? Are there potential acquisitions? Are there potential mergers that can take place? Is there something that can be something to do with crypto? Is it partnerships with maybe another big company? We know X is rolling out its payment platform. Maybe PayPal is trying to make a deal with Facebook, right? Maybe it has something to do with crypto. I'm not sure, but this is where the investing fun comes in. So never allow yourself to be stuck in a box, because we have to always be creative and think of the possibilities. And if you can manifest those thoughts, guess what? Before there was ever a rocket ship, Somebody had to have an idea that there was a rocket ship, right? So if you can come up with the ideas, I promise you there is nothing new under the sun. Somebody else may be coming up with those same ideas without you ever knowing. I want you to unlock your creativity in your brain. This is how I take advantage of things. I'm smart money. I see the possibilities of things before they take off, right? We want to have the ability to see the oak tree while it's still a seed, when most people can only see the oak tree once it's blocking the sun and it's above their head. You're here. This is the Money Watch. It's not just a watch list. We are going to get into the money. I'm going to break down some crazy things. So keep track of those dates. Keep track of those times. I hope you guys have written those down. And I'm going to break this down in a way you have never, ever heard before. I'm going to show you how to understand what's happening in price market in the most simple way. I have millions and millions of things to teach you guys. But today, I'm going to give you something that is going to help you in your mindset as you go forward into your investing journey. There is no college that will teach you this. There is no person on this planet who will teach you this. If you haven't already, like the video. I will show you better than I can tell you. Let's get into it. Boom. That's what we like to see, the charts, right? So in the stock market, we got PayPal going crazy, and we want to take advantage of some of these sympathy plays in this industry. Now, overall, I believe the market is going to go completely ballistic. It still has. I gave you my targets. So there's going to be lots of opportunities, but these are some of the ones I'm going to be looking at this week. One, Simply Play, pretty clean SQ. SQ is a payment processor as well. So we know stocks like to run as an industry quite frequently, right? So we can just simply take advantage of movement by knowing where the money resides. So on this particular stock, on SQ, I'm looking for a 2-2 week above 66.06. And I talked about these numbers having significance, and we will get to into some later videos, but just follow along. I'm just going to drop you off in the country, and you are going to learn the language as we go. I'm looking for a 2-2 week above 66.06 on SQ. Let me get up a quarter chart. As you can see, I have a bunch of different time frames that I'm going to be looking at. You notice you'll see some lines on my chart. I'm like, what are those lines? Support, resistance. No, they're actually called broadening formations, and they allow me to actually see what price is going to go. So these are on all these charts. You just may not see them based on how I have the screens laid out at the current time. I'm going to show you how to know exactly where these stocks are going to go, exactly how to know when to get in, and exactly when to know, or how to know when to get out. And those things are going to be by these broadening formations. Stick around. If you want to learn, say, I want to learn. Put in the comments, I want to learn. If you're here, you've made it to this point, I already know you want to learn. So I'm going to help you out. You're not going to learn everything in 1 day, 2 days, or even a week. This is things that have taken me years to learn, but I want you to be able to make money while you learn at the same time. The next ticker I'm going to be looking at, INFY. The good thing about TOS, they have a lot of features that will help you out if you ever don't know what something is. But as far as trigger levels and price, I know that's why a lot of people here, I'm looking for a 2-1-2 week above $20.03. So Infosys, if you don't know what the company is, let me just do this so I can show you. I have a system and it's going to work. I have a way I do this where I know exactly what's going to happen. And people typically can look at my screens and say, I know exactly where the stock is going to go. It's pretty clear for me, and I can do this with any stock. And I'll show you over time how we do this and how we make hundreds and thousands of percent on different trades at any given time. It will absolutely blow your mind. So I guess as stock traders, we simply want to know when to get in, when to get out, and when to add to our positions to maximize our gains. Stick around. Info system. One of the other things, you can look at fundamentals in TOS, and what you want to do, whatever platform you're using, you want to learn the ins and outs of the platform. So a lot of people think these platforms are intimidating, I guess would be the word, but it's a matter of you just putting in the work and not being afraid and being creative. Just click on the buttons, not being afraid to mess things up. You can always do a reset, whatever you need to do, but never be afraid. So you can always look at fundamentals on TOS for any ticker you're not familiar with. This is Infosys Electronic City Houser Road, Bangalore, India. Infosys Limited is an India-based company which provides consulting, tech, outsourcing, digital services, financial services, retail communication, energy, utilities, resources, and whatnot. So again, we're taking advantage of some of these moves in financial services. Cool. So we're looking for that 2-1-2 week of $20.03. Let me get some other time frames. I forgot I actually did a reset on my chart or on my TOS, so it doesn't have the right time frames up, but it's okay. The triggers are still the same. Just when we're looking at it, I don't actually look at anything micro as far as time frames go. I'm a macro person, and I like to take advantage of macro moves. I'll show you what SQ actually looks like on some of these macro charts, so you can get an idea what it looks like here. Pretty nice. The last ticker I'm going to be looking at this week is Hood. We're looking for a two-day above $10.75. Of course, a lot of people are familiar with Robinhood. Robinhood is the platform that we're doing the Roth IRA on. If you don't have a Roth IRA and you need to sign up with Robinhood, go ahead, hit the link in the bio. It's in all the videos. So support the channel. If you already have Robinhood, use a Webull or whatever. But I got you, and I even got you some ways to get paid to walk in free crypto. Imagine getting free crypto to walk. You don't have to imagine it. Hit the link in my bio. This is what I do. Thing we're going to be looking at Hood. Right now, there's not too many special events. Earnings on December 13th, 2024. And I want to show you guys something. One of the tools that I use, and we'll get back into the chart. Stock Traders Almanac. For those who are not familiar, this is going to help you out. It's going to give you a lot of insights into the market, seasonality, all the things you didn't need to know, right? So if you're just starting, get the Almanac, read it. This would be, I guess, I don't know, like the Bible of investing for any given year. So whatever, text you think is the most important to whatever aspect of your life that you're pursuing, this is the one that's going to help you out with the stock market. This is my 2023, 2022. You can see that. 2021, right? And then we got the current 2024. So according to this week, most of the days are going to be bullish. We got a bullish Tuesday, a bullish Thursday, and there is nothing too crazy going on in the market outside of the political and Fed events that I spoke about earlier. The big thing everyone is going to be waiting for is the PayPal event on Thursday, 2025. And there is a good chance that that could take all the attention in the market away from most other things. So be aware of that. Now, earlier in the video, I gave some time, some dates, and some breakdowns. I'm going to go to PayPal stock and break down how the stock market actually works so that you don't get tricked. And I'm going to break this down in a way that simply most people are not going to break down. So if I were to tell you, when does the stock market typically hit the lows? Well, in the stock market, stocks typically will hit lows in October. And if you've been trading for a while, you're pretty familiar with that. If you haven't been trading or investing, or even somebody who looks at a chart, you're going to learn today. If I say what is typically one of the most bearish months in the market is going to be September, right? We understand that markets will typically hit lows in March. We typically understand that we'll hit highs in the middle of the summer. Last summer, we hit highs at the end of July, and the previous year, we hit them in the middle of August. People are probably thinking, like, how does he know all this stuff? He's not looking at any charts. Well, this is what I do, right? And I'm just aware of this price action and how it actually works and how we can take advantage of it. I bring all that up to say, let's take a look at this PayPal chart. And I'm going to give an actual breakdown about what's happening so you can learn how to be a professional trader and investor. I'm going to show you all the things that all the people running firms know. You just don't know this. I don't use any indicators. I don't need volume. I don't need MACD. I don't need RSI. I don't need any of that. I need a fundamental understanding of the stock market. I need a fundamental understanding of how to determine which companies are good companies. I need to have an understanding of how to find value. I have to have an understanding of what institutions are doing at any given time, what the probabilities of success for any given investment or trade are at any given time. These are the things that I need to know. I'll give a PayPal breakdown to show you how we can avoid news. Now, I'm looking at PayPal on a monthly chart. Matter of fact, I'll go and look at this, break this down on this quarterly chart down here, so you can kind of see what's happening, and then I'll show you how this all works together. But let me start out by zooming out. This is one of the things you got to do. You got to always zoom out on the chart. Now, please ignore the lines. I'll get on a smaller time frame, but you can clearly see it went from here all the way 310 to all the way down, right? So we could see just off top that PayPal's at the bottom of the range. Now, here's what happens. Let me show you how this works. Let me show you what actually happened. PayPal actually hit a low. And then we're going to show you when PayPal hit that low. Okay. PayPal hits a low in October. Here, right? You see this, right? PayPal has a fantastic run up, right? So it goes all the way from, $50.15, and it makes a run all the way up to what is about $64.26. Okay, let's see what this looks like on a smaller time frame. So let's go down to a week chart here. What we have, we hit a low. When did we hit the low? The week of October 23rd. We had a run, right? Now, at the time before any of these candles were formed, we saw that this was the high, right? So we have a high low, 50% retracement equilibrium of the high low, right? For this particular move, it made a move down, it reversed, went back up, and then pulled back. So we had the high low. Once these new candles open, we saw what the high was. Retracements are normal in stocks. There is nothing that goes straight up. So even if PayPal was going to go straight up, you cannot show me a single chart that every candle goes straight up. What they do is this: institutions, smart money, they're going to buy off October lows. They're going to push it up. Retail investors are going to chase. They're going to get ill-timed long positions here. The stock is going to retrace. Where did this particular stock happen to retrace? It retraced just below the 50% of the entire move, and it immediately pushed back up. What are the things that were occurring in this time that we know to be true? They got a downgrade by Mizuno, and they said because of the competition. Now, remember those dates of those downgrades, when they happen. Smart money invested here. So let's put yourself in the mind of a stockholder. You buy a stock, for $50.25. Do you buy the stock if it starts to go down to $57? Did institutions decide to sell? No, what they actually do, they decided to buy more. The whole plan was to buy. Why? Because it came off the low. It's below the COVID lows that it had. Remember, the company has 25% of the global transactions. The stock is trading at a low evaluation compared to its peers and the current money that it's making. A lot of times people will tell you, you got to invest in this growth company or this growth company, and they don't actually produce any profits, and the forward propositions may not be as great as they sound. With PayPal, and why it was my 2024 stock trade idea of the year, is because they have plenty of profit, they have market cap, they have a great CEO, they've shown a track record, and they're undervalued. It's very, very simple. So with my private Discord that I have with my team, we laid out a plan to get into PayPal trades. And then even with the downgrades, we said we're going to ignore that. We're just simply going to read the price action. When I say read the price action, institutions bought it down here. It went up. If you go on social media, different forums, it starts to go down, and bag holders start to create FUD, FOMO. They're sad. FUD is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And these are the things that they start to create, and people get confused, right? They don't know what they're supposed to do. We don't worry about that. What we're simply going to do is read price action. When stock price moved up, there is an expectation that it would make a move down. Not that the trend would reverse and go back bearish, but simply that it would be another opportunity for institutions to load up. So here's what happens. October low, we get the stock run up, some corrective activity. We get announcements that the CEO is going to shock the world, and we continue the movement back up. Now you have to ask yourself, were the institutions actually going to sell? Clearly, they were never going to sell at any point. They were never going to sell. You see people who don't zoom out on charts, and all they pay attention to is this. They're not zoomed out and looking at the overall picture and the opportunities that may exist if things actually reverse and go back in the direction that you need them to go. Check the dates, check the price action. Now, the thing about it is we want to know, where is the price going to go? Based on these lines, you can write this down. You don't have to write it down, but you should write this down. Based on these lines, I can tell you exactly where the price is going to go immediately. We're going to go around 68.85. And after we get into this gap area in price action, the next stop is going to be $90, about $91. And the next stop after that is going to be about 115.5. And the next stop of that, we're looking at 126.66. Mark this down. You are going to absolutely be mind blown with what's happening. I want to show you how we're going to ignore the news, and we are going to focus on price action. Ignore the news. Zoom out on your charts. Don't be like most traders and sell when things are or sell when things are low and buy when things are high. You want to learn how to identify price action. If you were to enter a trade here, you'd have to know that you're supposed to add at these levels. We analyze contracts and different things on different plays over the weekend when we're coming up with these plans. And if I see a stock, say, trading at $4.25, I want to know, maybe I can get this contract at $4. Can I get it at $3.50? And I'm going to know that by understanding the price action on the chart. Now, I've given you a lot of information, and obviously this is not all going to make sense today, but that's okay. We're at the beginning of a wonderful journey, and I don't plan on stopping. and I hope you plan on continuing as well. As you can see, I got my boxing gloves over here. I'm a fighter. I love to box. I train with TNT, Terrible Terry Norris, if you know, boxing champion, fought against all the greats. He had a little damage, from boxing, obviously. And he had a beautiful wife, and she used to help him train. And one of the things he used to always say in his voice, he said, fight, 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 fight. And I always remember that. So if you're going through anything right now and you feel like there is no hope, there is absolutely hope. You can get through anything. I've been through a lot. As we go through this journey, I'll share a lot of my stories and some of the things that motivate me. If you haven't seen some of those things, go check out my previous videos. If you have any thoughts, ideas, anything you want me to go over, make sure to put those in the comments below. Share this video with the people you love. No one is going to break this down. If you don't understand anything, go back in the video, watch it. Watch it 10 times, watch it 50 times. Practice this one kick. I gave you $1 million worth of game right now. There's people going to watch this, institutions, people who've been trading 30, 40 years. They don't want you to know this information. They don't. They want you to read the upgrades and then, not buy low, not buy the discounts. They don't want you to do that, right? They want you to be affected. They want you to be emotional. I'm going to show you how to simply know when to get in a trade, when to get out of trade, how to execute the trade, exactly what the play is going to do, and how you can use these things to your benefit. I am a swing trader. I like to take advantage of moves over time. I'm a long-term investor. I understand that stocks go up over time. If you buy a good quality stock at a discount, your chances of success are very, very high. Again, if you've enjoyed the video, like the video. If you get a win, let me know. If you got questions, put them in the comments below. With that being said, I am looking forward to having another wonderful week. Be blessed. I'm out. Peace.